It's the Aaron L show. Y'all know who it is. Your boy Aaron L. Sitting out here waiting to start class. We is going into training on the 60-foot buses this morning. Thank God I passed my finals yesterday, so I'm one step closer. But yeah, I want to talk about Bitcoin because I was just sitting back having a thought about Bitcoin, and I was just thinking because I'm about 3 days out from being able to make another $250 investment on my Coinbase account. And I'm thinking about getting Bitcoin. But I'm looking at Bitcoin and it's 116,000. And I wanted to, just kind of ask y'all out there what y'all think. At 116,000, is it worth putting your little 250 and dropping it in the bucket? That's like dropping a quarter in the Bay Area water. Just walking up to the ocean and dropping a quarter in there. But like I say, as Bitcoin go up, I would have a small percentage of those increases. So I can't really say that is not worth it. Because if you believe in cryptocurrency, you believe in the future of a digital asset, then you would think in your mind, okay, Bitcoin is going to double. I'm not just going to put 250, I will put more. But I'm just thinking to myself, just to kind of like diversify my portfolio and have more than two coins, in my portfolio. Getting Bitcoin would be the third one. But I was thinking about buying a little more XRP. But we're going to talk about Bitcoin right now because Bitcoin is up 88% this year. Bitcoin is up massive. And I would have loved to have my money on there, would have made that run. But we don't know if Bitcoin going to make another run or Bitcoin is going to do a pullback because Bitcoin is notorious for 50, 60, 70% pullbacks. But right now, we all know that Bitcoin have a lot of institutional investors. There's a lot of ETFs and there's a lot of companies that's buying Bitcoin. So we don't know what the bottom is now. It seemed like Bitcoin, had a bottom that would just bottom out at the Bitcoin winners. If anybody know about crypto and been kind of like in the space for a while, when Bitcoin winter hit, a lot of the coins pull back 40, 50, 60, 70%. And it's not a shocker. Bitcoin is 116,000 right now. If Bitcoin was to pull back 50%, it would only be at about 55, 60,000. It'd be in the 50,000 range. So it still would be pretty high, so we can't sit back and think to ourselves that Bitcoin could not pull back. But then they also have that saying that some things just get too big to fail. And I believe that Bitcoin has reached that point with a $2 trillion market cap. I believe that it's just too big to fail. $2 trillion to just disintegrate out of nowhere would be the equivalent of Tesla going bankrupt. And I don't see that. Bitcoin's valued more than Tesla. So it's basically valued two Teslas, basically. So, I can see two companies big as Tesla, all the Teslas I see driving around, and just think that, eventually that company's going to go bankrupt and we don't see no more Teslas driving. It's just like the future's too bright for the company. They have too much money to invest in different areas for a company that big to go broke. Before companies that big go bankrupt, they'll buy another company that's prospering and survive. So Bitcoin's in the same position, and a lot of people are putting their money there for a store of wealth. It's almost like a gold digital asset, basically. Something that's gonna remain and increase in value over time. So a lot of people is gonna constantly invest in it. But my thought was, hey, I want to diversify my portfolio. I want more than two coins. I know I'm not really putting much in there like that right now, but at the same time, I'm putting something. So I'm thinking maybe I'll go Bitcoin. I might go XRP just to have more XRPs. I only have about 36 XRPs. If I were to put 250 in there, that would put me over 100 XRPs and I could continue to build. So I'm kind of thinking about that right now. But at the same time, I just wanted to kind of get some advice from you guys out there. I depend on you guys a lot for advice, for you guys to tell me what you think. Y'all opinion matter. I take your opinion and I kind of ponder with what I want to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to touch the money that I'm putting in, and I'm going to consistently put my 250 in. And, this is my journey of building my Coinbase account, and y'all taking this journey with me. So, since we're all on this journey, I want you guys to give me some advice on what you think I should do. I get paid Saturday. My direct deposit should come in Saturday. I'm going to make my decision in the next couple of days which way I'm going to go, whether I'm going to get XRP that I already have some tokens. Am I going to get a little more Ethereum on my goal to own one Ethereum, or am I going to spread it out a little bit, which I'll be spreading myself kind of thin, but spread it out a little bit and get a little Bitcoin. Now, I'm not going to lie, you know, Solana is kind of catching my eye a little bit too, but that's about $230 something per coin. And I was kind of thinking about that because Solana has been really making some moves, but at the same time, you know, am I mistaken or not, you guys let me know, but Solana was built on the Ethereum platform, so anytime Solana goes up, Bitcoin should rise with it. I'm not really for sure. Ethereum should rise with it. That's my coffee and my thermos. My throat is dry. Yeah, but yeah, that's just what I was thinking. You know, Solana has really been catching my eye, but I know it's built on the Ethereum platform, and I'm thinking if you're buying Ethereum, you're basically buying Solana too, and you're buying a lot of the other meme coins that's kind of built on Ethereum platform. But yeah, I'm thinking that I might just go and get Bitcoin. I might try to pinch maybe 350 just to put a little bit more in Bitcoin, just to diversify a little bit. I believe it's going to be a pullback though. I honestly do. We're going into the Christmas holidays. A lot of people is going to be, you know, taking their money and doing other things with it, taking vacations. A lot of holidays coming up, you know, family and friends are flying in. So, you know, usually that time you see a lot of people not really investing real heavy. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're going to have some type of pullback. I would love to see Bitcoin go under 100,000. That would be ideal for an investor like me. But that wouldn't be nothing but a 10%, 15% pullback. Bitcoin does that easy. I hate to invest in something and hope that it starts to lose, but that's kind of like what I'm hoping, even though I will be losing money. But in reality, what I would be doing is I would be investing as it's dropping. So I would really be, you know, they call it dollar cost averaging in, you know, so really you're losing while it's dropping. But every time you make an investment, you're getting more for your money than you were getting when you invested at the top. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, because right now I think they give me, for my 250, I'm getting about 5% of Ethereum. So let's just say Ethereum drops to 3,500. I wouldn't want it to do that because I want to make money. But if you think about it, if it drops from 4,500 to 3,500 and I put 250 in, then I probably will be getting 6 or 7% of Ethereum. So it's like, you know, in the long run, it would be beneficial for me to see the coin drop, because then I would be getting more for my money. And then in return, when it starts to rise, I will be making more. So it's like, that's kind of like the smart investment that I've learned over time, that when a coin starts to drop, you don't want to run. That's your trigger point to really start to put as much as you can in. So I could just play it smart. And this is what I'm thinking now that I'm sitting back talking to you guys, is to put my 250, 300 on Coinbase, but don't actually buy anything and kind of let the money sit, and then just start having target prices for when I want to get into a coin, instead of just putting my money in and just buying it immediately. I'm thinking about waiting till I start to see a pullback, because I honestly believe a pullback is going to happen. We're in September right now, October, November, December. I believe before the end of the year, we should see a pullback with the cryptos. If we see a run up, then that means I made a mistake. But I mean, at the same time, I can never make a mistake if my money's still in my pocket. So, and I will still be gaining money if it runs up, because I do have some money in the game. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna take the 250 or 300 I'm gonna put in this weekend, and I'm gonna just let it sit, you know, and then my next check, I'm going to put another 250, 300 in and just let it sit, you know, just let the money sit on the platform. I want to see a pullback, you know, I want to see at least a 10 to 15% pullback from Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, just the whole market. You know, I want to see the whole market take a 10, 15% pullback, which that'll be dramatic, because the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency market cap is around 3 trillion. So, you know, that would be like a 300 million, $450 million pullback. But that's what I'm looking for. You guys give me your advice. I'm just kind of brainstorming on the decision I'm going to make. I want you guys to help me out. Leave some comments down below. Tell me what you think I should do if you were in my position. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you watch it to the end, this is the Aaron L Show. It's your boy Aaron L. Like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get it up to 1,000 subscribers. And please comment at the bottom. I will respond to every comment. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you.